Hello, welcome back and welcome in. My name is Nikki Wheeler. If you're interested in gaming, go subscribe to my other channel and follow my Twitch to see my gaming live. Now, let's start this video. Today, I will be discussing Alessia Cara. She is best known for her songs Here, Scars to Your Beautiful, and I'm Yours, all of which came on her debut album Know It All, released in April of 2015, when she was only 18 years old. Most of the tracks were pop and contemporary R&B. There are very many great songs on this album. Alessia is a kind of a breath of fresh air. She's so vulnerable from the get-go, so I really was feeling this album. I think she's shy, like the theme of Here says, and that makes her music very relatable. What makes Alessia Cara an unusual story is that it is not the strength of her voice or her personality that makes her such a force and a new face to keep an eye on. Even though both are incredible, it's her songwriting. The opening line to Here is, "I'm sorry if I seem uninterested, or I'm not listening or indifferent. Truly, I ain't got no business here, but since my friends are here, I just came to kick it." Much of the album is an examination of the world around her, her view of that world, and even at times anthemic takes on the generation's view of the world and how they fit in. I must say, she's the kind of artist who I'm happy to hear getting a voice. But ultimately, I find this album worth a solid rating for the fact that we have someone who was writing these songs at 17 and 18 years old and has a very interesting voice. On top of that, the album had almost the full track list of solid, memorable songs and left me looking forward to see what would come next. Besides Here, I think my favorite off of this album was Outlaws. It was describing a relationship with her partner in crime. She pairs the description with duos of Bonnie and Clyde along with Laverne and Shirley. She made it general on purpose, so it could be about anyone and for everyone. It's weird how the adults perceive the younger generation as naive and spaced out delinquents. The statement sets the foundation for the entire song and album. It went from this statement to a love song about being naively in love and willing to get into as much trouble as possible if it was meant being with the one you love. I will say it is very smartly produced and fits very well with whatever vision Alessia had, but still it had an overly produced feel at times. But then again, some records do that on purpose for more stylistic approach, and I have enjoyed a lot of that music, like Falling in Reverse or the beginning of Taylor Swift's pop career. So the first question I have when listening to this is, how will this girl approach her next album? Will she want more control over the complete sound? And that would move us into the second studio album, The Pains of Growing. As accolades piled up, Cara experienced a complete between-album profile maximization cycle. Cara's second album catches her at a point where she's simultaneously an emergent singer-songwriter and a bankable collaborative pop star. The Pains of Growing embraces the duality for better and worse. Having co-written everything on the first album, Know It All, Cara wrote an even higher percentage of the material here, including a few songs of her own. The Pain of Growing is consequently more fragmented and less consistent than Know It All, but she makes the best of it, generally writing in a slightly wiser and sharper manner from the same introverted homebody perspective. The album reflects some of that solemnity, but it's leavened with sprightly sonic details and optimism about the future. The emotional range is the stuff of growing up, and it's also contained in the songs themselves. It seems like she did spend a lot of time thinking and how best to represent the highs and lows while she was recording and writing. Again, her lyricism is what makes her such an amazing artist, and the music and singing just double up on her talent. My favorite songs off of this one was Nintendo Game, I Don't Want To, and Out of Love. In the song I Don't Want To, Alessia talks about someone she broke up with and about how she still wants to be with them. She also mentions how she wants to get rid of everything her previous significant other left in her room or the things that remind her of them, but she doesn't want to let go of the memories. It's also somewhat rare to collaborate with producers, which leads her music to strike a balance between the simplicity of a young woman on a guitar or piano and the more epic sounds demanded by the pop charts. The next song, Nintendo Game, finds Alessia taking a liking to a dysfunctional relationship and comparing it to assorted video games. The song is low-key dramatic and brooding, but with the music pairing, it seems more lighthearted than it is. I like the nuances and innocence of video games that make it seem juvenile, and it just works really well with the message Alessia was going for. The album was a graceful entry for a second, and it carries over into the third album, In the Meantime, released in 2021. It refers to extreme personal turbulence experienced since the making of Pains of Growing. She attempts to make sense of it all here with help from a mostly new group of collaborators. Nearly every song on In the Meantime works through conflicting emotions with a profusion of metaphors. The approach is so common that it's striking when Cara switches tack on You Let Me Down. It seems as though she added elements of bedroom pop or Americana. A breeziness to certain productions and Cara's light melodic touch throughout prevent the album from being an unqualified downer. Sweet Dream, one of the several songs produced by John Levine, is a depressive insomniac trap pop with a exciting fantasy sequence in the chorus. And then you have I Miss You Don't Call Me, which is Alessia's way of saying I hate you but I love you. The contrast of the phrase shows the irony of her request to be left unbothered. It's like no matter how much you think you're over it, if they did call you, you'd get sucked right back into their orbit. I love the fact that this song is laid back instrumentally, but it's like a high-strung situation. On the closing song, Cara finally let in the light with a mellow groove that at once comes across as a sequel to Four Pink Walls and is a nod to Ari Lennox's new apartment. From start to finish, lulling hooks flood Cara's mind as much as indecision, skepticism, and other negative thoughts. They make all the bad stuff go down easy, enabling the listener to have a proper sulk that soothes. All three of her albums were extremely good and had their silver linings and downfalls, though some had more downs than ups. Now, I wanted to move into the rankings of the album. This is going to be a best to worst scale with lyrics, music, and vocal capabilities taken into consideration. At number 1, I have In the Meantime, number 2 is Know It All, and number 3 is The Pain of Growing. I have so much respect for her humility, her artistry, and the down-to-earth way she writes songs about life. Her honesty is a healthy invitation and challenge to you and me to think about the deeper things in life and ask spiritual questions. I recommend her music if you're looking for life-spinning R&B and pop. And with that, I will be ending the video there. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. Comment down below for what I should talk about next, and until next time, bye guys.